Hello there, and welcome to the Hey Like a Girl podcast. I'm your guest host, Dana Trampas. We are live at the Drake Hotel at the Power in Women in Medicine Summit, and I'm joined today by Hilary Phelps, speaker, writer, podcast host, wellness coach, and woman in long-term recovery. You made a very courageous decision to get help and begin again on your own terms. Can you talk us through that journey and what brought you here today?
It's so funny, even hearing that woman in long-term recovery, it still brings up emotion in me because I can still really vividly remember what it feels like to feel helpless and hopeless. I was a high achiever from the beginning, straight A's. It's the fastest swimmer in the country for my age group, but I still felt there's something in me that said I'm not good enough. And so I didn't have the tools to navigate that. And so I turned to drugs and alcohol at 14 and had a 15-year struggle with addiction. At 29, I checked myself into recovery treatment center for help because I felt so broken and I'd hit my bottom. And coming here today, I'm really excited to talk. I'm not a doctor, and I know a lot of the guests here are in medicine, but I'm writing a book with a doctor, and she is leading our panel, or she's the moderator of our panel today, Dr. Lippy Roy, and our book is about women in recovery. So it's my story and her science. And so what makes it more challenging for a woman to get sober? Where is the stigma in females and addiction? Why is it the way that it is? And so it's going to be a really exciting panel and a really powerful book.
You've also talked about how we kind of glamorize that before and after, and the middle kind of messy part, that confusing part is kind of where some of that real work happens. What was that like for you in that messy part?
Oh my gosh, in recovery? Yeah, I mean, and it's funny, not funny, in the beginning of recovery, there's a lot of support because the first people say, oh my gosh, how do you have 18 years? And like, how do you have 3 months? Because that's the work. It's really tough to change the patterns and habits and beliefs that you've lived with for as long as someone's lived with that made them turn to addiction and to drugs and alcohol. And so there's a lot of support the first year, as there should be. And there's a lot of cheering and clapping, and which is so, so beautiful. And then we say like around 5 years, there's the saying in treatment or in recovery that takes you 5 years to find your marbles, 10 years to gather them, and then 15 years to know what to do with them. And for me, I found that to be true. The first 5 years, I felt like I was kind of stumbling through. I was doing what people suggested in terms of recovery. 12 steps was a huge part of it for me. I was reaching out to other people in recovery. I was spending Saturdays with people in recovery. I mean, I changed everything, people, places, and things because I didn't want to go back. And then there was that middle part where I was diagnosed with severe depression. And I believe that I was able to navigate that diagnosis because I'd already had 5 years of recovery behind me. And that was really powerful because I was like, okay, like the next layer of the onion, if you're peeling it back, okay, now I can look at this depression that's probably been bubbling up for 20 years that I was masking with the drinking. At 10 years, I had this beautiful experience of having my son who's...
I see your mama necklace, yes. And we talked a little bit too. My kid is about the same age as your kid. I'm a single mom. You're a single mom. So, and that's hard. There's a lot to cope with in the world right now. There's a lot, especially as a parent with vaccines and violence in school. A father in the school district that my son is a part of, he's the same age as me. The kid is in second grade like mine, was killed by ICE after he dropped his kid off at school. So that kind of stuff is terrifying for parents to even navigate what's going on right now. And having to cope with the world is a lot. But I would like to know though, what is one thing you wish more people, especially in healthcare, would understand about addiction and what you're going through and that long-term journey? Because at times it can feel like I'm a failure. There's a setback. What do you wish more people understood? It's
one day at a time. And I know that's a cliche that's been said and used over and over again, but it truly is. Because at 15 years sober, it's the first time I truly considered taking a drink. And I'd worked day in and day out at staying sober every day. And there were some days when I thought, I just have to make it to midnight and it's another day. Or, okay, if I really want to drink in an hour, then I'll do it. And after 20 minutes had passed because I had picked up the phone or I moved my body or did something to get outside of myself. But I wish more people understood that it is not a choice. No, nobody wakes up and says, I want to be an addict. I think this is a great way to live my life because I want to struggle and I want people to judge me and I want to wake up every morning with shame. Nobody wants that. And so people have said, well, you chose to put that wine in your mouth and you chose. Yeah. And I wish people would understand that it is a emotional, physical, and spiritual disease. Everything inside of me was saying, just do it. Just do it. Just one more drink, just one more time. Maybe it'll be different this time. And I wish people would have, we talk about the way the world right now, just a little bit of compassion for what someone else is going through, because we've forgotten how to be human. We have forgotten that at the end of the day, we are all connected by this humanness. We put our pants on, our skirts on, or whatever, one leg at a time. And if I know, right? I agree.
We did not fart in here. That was the sound.
It's the universe agreeing with us. Yes, more humanity. Yes, please. Yeah. And I think it's just that it's a disease. It's not a decision.
We're talking a little bit about being a mother and what is that like being a mom in recovery? How do you how do you navigate all of what's going on and not get pulled back to what's holding you back to? Like, how do you keep yourself like grounded?
Great question. And it's a daily practice, right? But the one thing that, I've learned is control your controllables. And what that means is first and foremost, it starts with me. And people think that self-care is selfish. And I always say, what if we reframed it and said self-care is self-respect? What does that look like? And so for me, my son said that you put yourself first. And I said, I 100% put myself first, meaning I do meditate. I'll be like, yes, you can watch a cartoon. I need to go meditate for a little bit. I need to check in. I need to journal. And that's okay. I don't need to be the quote perfect parent, because if I'm not in a good place, then nobody wins. And so for me, I focus a lot of attention on him being him. He's very emotional. He's high impact. He needs a lot of physical and emotional and mental stimulation. And so in order for me to show up the best way I can for him, I have to show up for myself. And different days, that looks different.
Yeah. You want to put your oxygen max on first, as they always say.
Yes.
We're raising these tiny humans in this chaotic world that life in itself is traumatic, right? And having to raise this tiny human into this world and seeing how they experience the world. For me, my son, just seeing the way he looks at things that me as an adult, I'm just like, but then I see, wow, the sky is blue. The clouds are beautiful today. To take those moments of being able to sit and feel those little moments that kids see all the time that we miss as adults, right? We don't take time to smell the roses. We don't.
Like, who were we before we became who the world told us we should be, right? And kids are these innocent, beautiful beings of that way, and mirrors. And the thing that I'm very open to my child crying. He cries and I allow it. And he even said to me, his thing, I don't want to talk about my feelings, because every single question is, how does that feel? And I'm like, we have a feelings wheel here on the refrigerator. If we'd like to go to this, would you let? And he's like, I don't want to talk about the way I feel. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. And so I back off but I always ask him, how do you feel about that? Tell me about the way you drew this. What made you pick this color? So he can express who he is and how he sees the world versus who I think he should be and what I want him to be. Because it is not my job to tell him who to be. It's my job to hold a container and space for him to blossom into the best version of himself. And I wasn't raised like that. My parents are wonderful and I love them. But I heard recently on a podcast, and they said the trauma that we're experiencing in the world right now are the stuffed, uncried tears of past generations.
Wow.
Like, I've never felt any. Yes, because you're told not to cry, we were talking about not to express rage, not to just stay. Yeah. Suck it up. Put your sunglasses on and keep going. Don't let anybody see. Don't be vulnerable. That's not safe. Don't be. And so what if we allowed? So my approach to being a mom, one is I'm so grateful that I'm sober, because the days I question am I doing enough? The day that I stay sober and show up for my child is enough, because I know it wouldn't be like that if I was still drinking.
That's beautiful. Can we transition a little bit to talk about the right room?
Yes.
Can you tell everybody what is that? What is that? And why that name?
Oh my gosh.
What makes something right for somebody who's going through this journey? Tell us, Hilary, tell us.
Great question. What makes it right? I've never been asked that question. I love that. Thank you for making me think a little bit deeper on this. And the Right Room is a platform. And so navigated personally a lot of transformation and transitions in my life. And I also am a knowledge seeker. And so I have more certificates, certifications, and licenses than more people because I find it interesting. And so I brought those two together and created a platform in the space for women who are navigating transitions. And let's be real. We were talking about this. Women navigate so many transitions in life, becoming a mother, empty nester, leaving a job, retirement, starting a business, getting married, getting divorced, menopause, right? Yes. So many things. And and our friends are great. Like our friends love us and they support us, but sometimes they're our cheerleaders and not our mirrors, right? And so the Right Room is a place for women that are looking for that reflection and mirror to say, I see you, I got you, I'm listening to you. How can I help you? What do you need in this moment? And what that looks like, it's a podcast, it's one-on-one coaching. We're launching a membership platform in the next couple of weeks because I truly want to be able to meet every woman where they are. And not every woman can have the time or the ability, the finances to do one-on-one, but how can I show up for women in a way that they get the same benefits as everybody else? And so this membership platform will touch women wherever they are. They can do it comforts of their home. It's still live coaching. It's also breathwork, meditation, tapping, all of the things that have helped me. The name The Right Room came from my partner's, his idea. I was doing a podcast and I was talking and I said, look, it's not that my voice was wrong. I was just in the wrong room. And it wasn't until I was in the right room with people that understood me where I felt supported. Because I think a lot of people can say they've been in a room where people are like, that's a bad idea, that's stupid, whatever. But you feel really deeply in your soul that it's best for you. And you can go into another room where people cheer you on and applaud you and you feel amazing. You're like, yes. And so this is the right room. And so I love the question because I also don't love the concept of right and wrong. I think everything just is, and it's information and it navigates us to the next decision. But the Right Room came from, and I said it in a podcast, my partner called me and he was traveling. He's like, The Right Room, that's the name. Because I was like, glowing goddesses or wonderful witches. I mean, I was thinking of all these different sisterhoods and he was like, The Right Room. And it's about just being in a room of people that support you and see you and love you for who you are.
They get you, they understand you. There's a lot of healing that can come with feeling seen and somebody understanding you and can meet you where you're at. So I love that. I would like to shift gears a little bit and try a lightning round of some quick takes. So I want you to just, whatever's the first thing that comes in your head. And honestly, there's no wrong answer to any of these questions. So, what is one support you wish every woman navigating recovery in the future could have access to?
Treatment options.
What's a myth about recovery you're just so sick of hearing?
It's a choice.
What's a small practice or ritual that keeps you grounded on your toughest days?
I put my hand on my heart. And if you would do this.
You put your hand on your heart.
And I close my eyes. And I breathe. And I say, what do you need? What do you need?
What do you need?
And I repeat it over and over. And whether I'm speaking to that little 8-year-old little Hilary or my intuition or my higher self, I don't know, but something comes through. And so when I'm feeling frenetic and overwhelmed, and so my friends know, okay, I'll probably do it in the panel today. It's also my check-in. I have you, I'm safe. But when I say, what do you need? It's that moment to slow down and speak to myself. And some days I cry. Some days I just burst into tears and I need that release. Other than, I'd really like a nap. Not what do I want? What do I need? And I try to honor that.
I love that. It's just taking a moment to just decompress and just exist. I love that. What is your go-to song or artist that never fails to lift your mood?
Unstoppable.
I need to add that to my playlist.
Or Mr. Brightside.
Oh, yes. What about a show or book or hobby that you turn to give you joy or an escape? What's something you like to do?
I don't do anything small. So if I start watching a show, I will binge the entire thing. So I know myself well enough to know that. What's the last one I watched? The Girlfriend with Robin Wright.
Okay.
I just started The Pit. I just downloaded that.
That's a great one, yes.
Okay, I just downloaded it for the plane. White Lotus, I binged in like a weekend, like all 3 seasons.
Finished The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I haven't seen that
one. Yeah, the Bridgerton.
Haven't seen that.
I go deep into a binge watch.
Like The Lioness. I like those dark shows too. However, I had to take my Aura ring off because it registers as higher stress watching those shows than living life. I was like, for me, wild.
Wow.
No.
What is giving you hope right now?
The topic around mental health and addiction. It is becoming less stigmatized. When I got sober in 2007, no one was talking about it. You keep that buttoned up. You don't mention it. You don't talk about it. Therapy's not a thing. I like that it's become a conversation. I like that people are owning vulnerability or owning, they're kind of saying it in a more open way. I think that gives me hope in humanity that we are able to start seeing, like we said, start seeing each other as humans with needs and wants and feelings versus I don't have time for your problems, deal with it on your own.
For anyone listening, whether they're in recovery themselves, supporting someone they loved, or just learning how to show up better, what's one thing that they can do now that could make a difference?
Listen. Just listen. We're so, and myself included, I've been there, and get curious.
Yeah.
Like we're so interested in filling a silence or focus on saying the next thing or being right.
Yeah.
And we forgot to just sit and listen.
If someone wants to connect with you or learn more about The Right Room, where could they go?
HilaryPhelps.com is the best. It has the most information. It's 1L in Hillary. I'm on Instagram. I don't do talk, but
no, I haven't ventured into the TikToks yet.
I did. I'm addict. And so I have enough time to just doom scrolling or just scrolling on Instagram. When I'm on TikTok, I'm very...
You can go down a pretty deep, dark hole on TikTok. But I have seen where TikTok has brought communities together. I've made some social media friends. So that's great. Hilary, thank you so much for being here, for your courage, speaking openly about recovery, and making spaces where women can show up as their full, imperfect selves. We're going to keep watching you to see how you grow and how The Right Room continues to evolve. And we're here rooting for every woman who has her own little messy middle part. So if you enjoyed our discussion today, tag, leave a comment. My name is Dana Trampas from Hit Like a Girl podcast. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening. You can learn more about us or this guest by going to our website or visiting us on any of the socials with the handle Hit Like a Girl Pod. Thanks again. See you soon. Again, thank you so much for listening to the Hit Like a Girl podcast. I am truly grateful for you, and I'm wondering if you could do me a quick favor. Would you be willing to follow or subscribe to this podcast, or maybe leave us a rating or review? Or if you're feeling extra generous, would you share this episode on your Instagram stories or with a friend? All of those things help us podcasters out so much. I'm the show's host, Joy Rios, and I'll see you next time.